What's up, guys? So in this video I'm going to be ranking every single named location in Fortnite from worst to best. So if you guys agree with this list, make sure to drop a like, and if you guys don't, you can comment in the comment section below and state your own list and your favorite points of interest to land at. Also, I'd like to add that I'm likely going to be focusing on other games and uploading content from those games starting 2 days from now, because I have now hit level 160 on Fortnite, which is the final level that you unlock something. And I also have 19 games that I have barely started or have not started yet. And the new season of Modern Warfare has just dropped, so I'd like to grind through that out. If you guys are interested in seeing any of the gameplay from those games, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I'm going to start off the video by giving an honorable mention to these houses just here north of Pleasant Park. These are a pretty good place to land in solos as well as tournaments and arena, because they can get you, well, you're pretty much guaranteed placement points, and you can get a couple of kills early to mid game if you go clean up Pleasant. And I actually did have someone else land here with me this game, so I picked him off. And I just want to throw out there that for this list, my numbers 7 through 14 are all pretty interchangeable, so I'm just going to leave it at that. 15 through 18 I really don't like, I won't land there, and then 1 through 7 are ones that I land when I'm not doing challenges. So to start off the list, I'm going to be going to Rickety Rig, and this is going to be number 18, my last place. And this is my least favorite point of interest on the map because it's just so far away from everything else. It's even out past Slurpy Swamp, and it's also fairly small. There's not a lot of buildings or loot here. It's generally fairly uncontested, and you're likely not going to find a whole lot of people. Oh, and that too, you can slip through those cracks. Another reason I don't like it. I think that's going to wrap up number 18. So for number 17, I've got Steamy Stacks. Gosh, I don't even know the names of these places because I literally never land at them. But this place is just opposite of Rickety Rig, super far out. You don't get a lot of action. Maybe like 1 or 2 people will land here, unless it's a hot drop. And it's also a very big location for being kind of out on the edge of the map, so even if you do have a couple of people land here, it usually takes like half the match to find them. So at 16 we have Misty Meadows. This is another spot I'm not too fond of, and that's because it's so far away from everything else on the map. Usually it takes me until there's about 10 people left to even find anyone after I leave this area. It is usually decently populated, so I might be able to get 4 or 5 kills off of spawn, but after that it's just all running, and there's usually nobody else that lands over here because you've got the people that go Lazy Lake, and you're likely not even going to catch those fights. So, and these are just some of the reasons why I don't like landing here. It was really just it's just in a bad position on the Fortnite map. Alright, so this is a controversial one, but at number 15 I have the Authority. I feel like I can never find a gun at all here. There's like not enough floor loot areas. I don't see anything on the roof or this side area, so I'm going to try and go in the door. I didn't see anything here either. And the chest didn't have a gun. I definitely prefer the agency. I'm also not a big fan of the the drum gun this season, and the grappler just isn't worth it compared to the shockwave. So I ended up dying because I only got a sniper out of that chest. Can't find a gun again. Alright, there we go. And so that's gonna wrap up the areas that I consider bad or don't like myself. So for, I think I said 7, but I actually meant 9. So from 9 to 14, these I'm all okay with. These are like my mid-tier areas. So we're gonna start off with Coral Castle at 14. This is pretty good. It's kind of far away, but it's got decent loot, and I really don't mind landing here. It's not too contested, but you'll usually get a couple of people. Generally, a couple of people land here. I think there was one guy on the other side this game. But overall, it's not a bad area at all. It's just kind of far from the circle. I do end up getting full shield out of this here. So definitely a good place if you want to get maxed out, and it has plenty of brick. So number 13, we have Sweaty Sands. This is right next to Coral Castle, so another place. It's a little bit closer to the mid-map, so a little bit less running from the storm. It's also got a lot of chests and houses, but it is a little bit more contested. It's also got a lot of cars. I think this has the most, or is the point of interest with the most cars in the game. Just took that guy out with only 6 health. Yeah, I can hear a car right now. And you got this main building. This one's pretty good. This almost reminds me of, I forgot what it's called, the sand area of Chapter 1. Paradise Palms or something. Alright, so at number 12, we have Pleasant Park. And this is another controversial one. I think this place is okay. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's what it was back in Chapter 1. It's a little bit farther. I'm finding myself having to run away from storm more often. And it's also usually fairly contested. There's only one person here this game. I don't know. I just think it's okay. Not great, not bad. Kind of like a mediocre place to land. Found another guy rotating in here. Okay, so at number 11 we have Slurpy Swamp. This is another pretty good place. It's kind of on the outskirts of the map, right past Fortilla. It gets some traffic. Generally light to medium. Sometimes I'll find sometimes there'll be about 6 people going here, and I might be able to get like 3 kills or so before I leave the area. In this game, there's only 1 because it was on the end of the bus path. But it's still a decent place. It's very easy to get shield. If you want to get set up, it's a very good place to go. I ended up finding 6 chug splashes here this game. Oh, another place I recommend going. I think more chug splashes up there. I ended up getting 5th place this game, so Slurpy Swamp, not a bad place at all. Okay, so for 10th I have Salty Springs. This place is very hectic. You're either going to die right away or probably get a high kill game. And right here, I just happen to get a blue tack from this house. pretty much every single house will have a person in it, so what you get, you're just gonna have to work with. And it makes for some really fun fights right off the bat. I wouldn't drop here if you're trying to win, however. This is just a place to get like lots of kills, or like a warm-up spot for me personally. So I didn't see him in the window there. Now looking back. And here I'm getting lasered in the back. Alright, so at number 9 I have Weeping Woods. This is a spot I personally like for squads. It's also good in solos. It's more towards the middle of the map, which makes it ideal for rotating and also pulling off high kill games. You can clean up Salty, or I should say you can get fully looted and then clear out Salty, because if you land Salty you're likely only going to have a couple of guns, not very good meds or shields, from my experience personally. Alright, so I did find someone here. The guy's not very good though. I almost messed that up. Alright, so on top 2. So Wailing Woods is another pretty good spot. 6 kills this one. Oh my. Craggy Cliffs at number 9. At number 8, sorry. So this is one that I like more than the rest. Now we're getting into my top tier choices. So Craggy Cliffs is more out to the side of the map, but I really like this because it's generally low traffic. You might have 1 or 2 other people that land here, and it's easy to get full shield with a couple of kills. And then you can rotate in. There's usually people on the hills near Frenzy Farm. So you can usually get about 6-7 kill games and end up in the top 10. I know there's a guy behind me. Just trying to figure out how to get down there. There we go. I have no idea what this guy's doing. So at number 7 we have the Fortilla. I personally think this is the second best point of interest because it's got the gold burst AUG and the bottomless chug jug, which are both really good mythical items. So the chug jug heals you up to full health and shield, and you can reuse it every 20 seconds or something like that. It takes 15 seconds, but it rejuvenates really quickly, which I like. So I can use it to get out of storm, which is usually the case with the Fortilla, but it's really not a huge problem since you get the chug jug. And then the burst AR is really good. So I'm top 3 here. I personally think the burst AR is better than the drum gun, the mythic drum gun. But now we're top 2 again. I can't lose this one. I have 8 kills. So Fortilla is actually a really good spot. Aw, man. Alright. So number 6 we have Lazy Lake. Lazy Lake's usually pretty crowded. It generally has about 10 people going there per game, hot drop or not. So in this case there's guys fighting up there, so I'm going to push that. This is also pretty good. It's kind of like the Tilted Towers of Chapter 2, I would say. It's very tall buildings with lots of loot, and it's generally pretty crowded. Here I pick off a second guy. And yeah, definitely deserving of the number 6 spot, I think. It's also got quite a bit of cars. It's more towards the middle of the map, so it's good for high kill games. I can usually win the game with 10 plus kills landing here if I do decent. There's a third guy here. So that's going to wrap up Lazy Lake. And at number 5 we have Dirty Docks. So I know this is a controversial one. Lots of people aren't too fond of this place or don't really care about it, but I personally really like it. It's kind of next to Retail Row, which a lot of you guys know is my favorite spot. And this was also a hot drop, so I think like 10 people landed here this game. So a lot of guys on the other side. And this guy had a kill. I checked the replay. So I'm top 2 again. See if I choke a third one. But I'm top 2 with 5 kills, so Dirty Docks is another really good spot. I mean, these last ones are all really good spots for getting to the end game with kind of medium kills. Hey, there we go. Finally got a win. Dirty Docks it was. So in 4th we have Holly Hedges. This is a pretty good spot because it's generally not very contested, and the people that do land here usually aren't very good. It's also got plenty of houses and buildings to get fully equipped in, full shield and stuff. So there's 45 people left, and I'm just finding my first person. It's a helicopter landing here. Yeah, this guy just gave up or something. But as I said, generally fairly uncontested. Usually 3 people will land here max, 3 or 4. And they're usually not very good. So here I see shooting, but I don't know where it is. I shoot a flare gun, but still can't spot it. But it's good for high kill games because you can rotate out in a salty. It's a good place to land at first and then sweep your way in. So I only have 2 kills because I decided to hang out near Weeping after leaving Holly. So this is the guy that kills me. He is extremely good, suspiciously good. But he ended up lasering me as some ridiculous like... And then there he hits me while I'm not even in his field of view. Checked replay mode and we couldn't see each other there, and then he just lasers me there too. So in tomorrow's video I'm going to go back and look at that replay to see if that guy was actually hacking or not, but I personally think it kind of looked like it. And now we're getting to our top 3. So for number 3 I've got Frenzy Farm. This is a really good place for high kill games. It's right in the middle of the map. You can get, there's lots of places to rotate to, and lots of places rotate into here. You've got Dirty Docks on one side, and then the Orchard and Steamy Stacks on the other. And then rotating out, you've got Risky Reels, the Authority, and Salty Springs. All places that are very contested. So this makes for lots of 10+ kill games. Here I've already got a second person rotating in. And I end up killing him here. Also good build fighting spot. So as you can see, Frenzy Farm gave me a 9 kill game here. 7th place 9 kill game. So it's very good for high kill games. But I end up dying here because of one missed shot. He just happens to hit me for pretty much all my health here. And yeah, it's just that one shot. So number 2 I've got Caddy Corner. And this is my favorite mythical point of interest because it's got the kit charge shotgun and the shockwave launcher. So kit charge shotgun I'm hit and miss with because it only shoots 50% of the time. I've noticed that if I try and use it like a pump, it'll almost always shoot. But if I charge it up all the way, sometimes it just won't release. I'll have it fully charged and it'll just decide that it's not going to shoot when I release it. And for that reason, I will usually drop it for a purple or gold tack. But the shockwave launcher is what's really key here. The shockwave launcher is the best mythic item in this game right now. So that's why I recommend going here over the other mythical points of interest. The shockwave launcher is really good for rotating and for build fighting. But I do die these next 2 games because the charged shotgun didn't shoot while it was fully charged. Okay, so at number 1 I have Retail Row, as which most of you guys probably expected. This is a pretty good spot because it's got plenty of loot, and it's also a moderately trafficked area. I can usually walk out of here with between 5 and 7 kills, I'd say. In this game, I end up getting 5 kills before I even have to leave Retail Row. Or actually, I think I die fighting the 6th person here actually. But I really like this spot because it allows me to rotate pretty much anywhere I want, and I can drop 12 kill games, or I think the highest I've ever dropped landing here was a 12 kill game, which does happen often. I've dropped a couple. I frequently get 10 plus kill games landing here. The only place on the map that I've gone higher than 12 kills was Salty Springs, but that place is also very hectic and it's hit and miss whether you'll die right away or not. So I recommend Retail Row for consistent high kill games. And I think that's going to wrap up my video. If you liked my list, please make sure to drop a like, and if you want to see more content, be sure to click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.